Hello, this is Drop. And guess what? It's September, which means you're probably most likely going to go to school very soon, if not this day. So I decided to compile some tips on basically how to survive high school and to minimize the misery factor when it comes to school, because most likely you're not really excited to go there, which is completely justified because most of the time you'll be hanging out with people you don't really like or have anything in common with, but that's okay. That's the high school experience. So tip number one: if you're going to a new school for the first time and you've got no previous social connections with any people in your class and you don't facilitate some sort of interaction with people, well, you'll most likely end up being alone. Who'd have guessed? So for sure, try to group yourself into some sort of collective, a group of people who you think are alright, because the first week it's going to become fairly apparent what the dynamics of the class hierarchy are, and what type of people you will have, whether that be good people or really bad, disrespectful, if not the typical bully archetype. So be wary the first few weeks of school, because you never know what's going to happen later. Usually when the first week is over, you'll start to slide into the typical school routine. So you'll get your schedule, and then the second week you'll actually kind of get to know your teachers, which brings me to the second tip, and that's that many teachers vary when it comes to their ways of discipline, the way they teach, what they teach, and what the kind of relationship is with the students of that class. It's then going to become fairly apparent what teachers are serious about their, and then the other ones who don't really care about their job. They're just only there for the money, and they tend to be fairly lenient when it comes to their teaching, and you'll most likely be able to slack off a little bit, which is probably not the best tip, but at the end of the day, you're a teenager, and just like me, I tend to be very much sleep deprived, which I know it has to do with my sleep schedule, but I'm just not a morning person. So when it comes to those teachers, they'll be kind of more lenient when it comes to you kind of resting your head and kind of doing your own thing, maybe catching up on some micro sleep. And then if you're into drawing, and I'm not insinuating it, but the accessibility factor is certainly there with that type of teachers. I'm not promoting it, but who knows? You can maybe do it potentially. Third tip is don't be serious with people. Don't make some mortal forever enemies just because of one stupid thing, one stupid scuffle, because you know that you're going to be with those people for the next 2 years. Why make it difficult for yourself when it comes to the social dynamics of the class just because of one stupid thing that happened? Don't make enemies, because people like to gang up on others, because that just happens in schools. So be careful with that, because you never know what type of connections other people have, the type of people other people in your class hang out with, because they might just make your life a living hell. And I guess that kind of applies with teachers as well, because again, right, they're going to be teaching you whether you like it or not, and they're going to be teaching you for the next X years. It's just not good. Fourth tip is get some bloody sleep, man, because whether you like it or not, you're going to need your brain to perform menial tasks. Do stuff you really don't care about, but again, things that you need neurons for. So if you don't get enough sleep, most likely your grades are gonna falter, and you just gotta get into trouble with parents and teachers. It's not recommended. I know it sounds really cliche, get sleep, eat healthy, study, have a healthy routine, but the sleep factor certainly plays a role when it comes to mental health in high school, and actually the role you play in high school as well. How you interact with people and how you perform when it comes to tests and exams. Fifth tip is homework. Now, it's most likely going to be very subjective, because each school varies. Every teacher varies when it comes to this. How they grade their homework and what type of homework they will give you. However, in my case, there were two teachers who basically gave you gave you actual work during class hours and homework, and the sources were basically from one website. It came to physics questions, mathematical equations, and this just one website somehow. And coincidentally, that website had answers as well. Yeah, the questions for the physics and the equations themselves, but the website also had the answers, the results. So basically, I could just use that website, find the same question that my for example my physics teacher gave me, and I could just find it on the website. And yeah, it doesn't help that he also basically copy pasted all of those answers into his tests. So that was pretty easy to crack the code with, I guess. Obviously, I can't say the same for the rest of the teachers because they actually seem to care about what they're teaching. I don't know, it's very weird. So yeah, that's probably something to look out for. You might just have teachers who just copy paste everything from one source, from one website, and you can exploit that by just being a good student and having perfect results for those tests and homework, and you can get lots of good grades like that. So take advantage of that, because not all teachers are the same, because they all have different ways of doing their stuff, and you can test the waters like that, just by finding holes in their logic. And also when it comes to the type of homework they assign you and the tests they give you, you will see fairly big discrepancies in terms of the difficulty, obviously between in those subjects, but just between teachers as well, because teachers, some of them are more strict, some of them are less strict. So you can do half of your work, and then with the very strict teacher, you can just do, basically in that case you're just forced to do as much as you can mentally, because the strictness varies at the end of the day. And obviously sometimes you will get teachers, not always, but sometimes you will get teachers who don't really care about homework. It's for some of them it's just a voluntary extra work thing, but again you can take the advantage of that, of fulfilling the homework, even though it's not strictly mandatory that you have to do it. Some teachers actually do appreciate the extra work, the extra few minutes, the hours you put into set subjects. So there's that. The thing is, you can just test the waters again. I'm just saying that again, but you can just kind of see how teachers operate, which is obviously fairly convenient, because you don't want to just be doing school stuff at home. You want to be doing other stuff. So if you kind of build a sort of compromise when it comes to the attitudes of these teachers in your school, you can save up some time at home, do whatever you want, play games, do whatever. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know, I don't have any more tips. It's just stay out of trouble, I guess. Don't hang around with bad people. That's my recommendation. Okay, yeah, that's probably it. Bye.